So I'm going to briefly just tap into, what black and white magic is on a very broad perspective. So from my cognition, all white magic is directed inwards. Anything that's directed out of the body using the mind is a form of black or grey magic. This is really important.
Can you say that again?
Anything directed out of ourselves with the mind is a form of black or grey magic. So I'm going to give you an example. If I send someone some love, oh wow, that person's in trouble, I'm going to send them love. That's black magic. And it's very hard to comprehend from this perspective because we think, how could that possibly be bad? How could it possibly be bad if I'm sending someone love, But what happens is the mind needs to engage and judge a situation going, I have the love that needs the love. I can potentially offer this love to this thing, and now I'm going to give. And it's a karmic connection where we have to judge the situation that it's already outside of perfection. We've already seen that, there's maybe not a God, or the God that's around is obviously that he's handled all this other stuff, but this situation obviously he's lost control of. So I'm going to get involved here and and sort this out. But what happens is, as soon as we stretch out and we create a portal or a way in which our energy leaks, all sorts of other things come into play. Now you can affect that person that you want to send love to without sending them the love. And the way to do that is recognize that they are mirroring to you an aspect of yourself that is needy. And so what you do is you direct all your energy inwards, the portal being the heart in this place, and that will filter anything that's out of harmony with existence. And what happens is it creates a radiance. In other words, the body then naturally radiates energy, and then any system in this dimension or any other in any time has access to that energy without the diminishing of your energy or that in terms of quantity and quality. So I'll explain that a little bit deeper. So what that means is, if I tap into my own source of infinite energy, which is kind of like the sun, and the sun, we're going to see later in this talk, is actually the heart. Your heart is a sun, the center of the earth's a sun, that's a sun, and a sun's just a symbolic representation of this source energy. But when we tap into our own source energy, because it's an infinite source, it means it does not matter how many other sentient beings draw on that source, this never depletes. Whereas if I send someone love, my energy depletes and theirs may increase, but then I'm going to need to get it from somewhere else. Where am I going to get it from? I now got to get it from this system or that person or this tree, and then it becomes the world we know, where we're all competing for this energy. It's like the money that we use is of this ilk. I give out some and then I have less and someone else has more, but then everyone's in poverty consciousness and everyone's now competing for this limited resource. Whereas if we follow the natural world, thank you. Thank you. If we follow the natural world and a natural way in which nature taps into energy, they're tapping into infinite energy sources, and so it doesn't matter how much sunlight a tree draws from the sun, is not depleting the sun. Quite the contrary. The more a tree draws energy from the sun out of love, the more that will sustain the sun. And the sun will go on infinitely as long as there are beings who appreciate its light.